Stormtrooper twice lined up in rows. Let's go! Reviewing each one with the passion it shows. It's so plastic to metal, he knows them so well. Stormtrooper swagger, his story to tell. Tune in for Bert, he's the toy expert. Let's go! From action to arcade.
Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Autobot Red Alert, and I love this toy. Released in 2025, this is a brand new figure available right now as of the time of this recording. It is a Voyager class figure and retails for approximately $35. This is a figure that I found right on the shelf, so go out there and good luck hunting to everyone. Very excited about this figure. I absolutely love Transformers RID in 2000 and then Armada right after it really brought me back into Transformers, and I really liked all of the characters from Armada, Prime, Hotshot, Red Alert. Loved all of these guys. I still have my originals. Unfortunately, they are in storage right now, so I was not able to dig out my original Red Alert to do comparisons, unfortunately, but that's okay. We're going to take a look at this guy. Anyway, starting with the packaging. So we've got the Transformers new Age of the Prime style packaging. Windows are back. We got some really cool artwork of Red Alert here in robot and in vehicle mode. And we got that Age of the Primes logo right there. The artwork stretches out over to the side of the box right here, and we can see some of those primes right there. Till all are one. Voyager class figure. On this side, we got more artwork of Red Alert. And then along the back, we've got product shots of the figure both in vehicle and robot mode. It's showing us in attack mode. And we got 22-step transformation. Very, very fun figure. The figure also comes with a sheet of instructions that is very easy to follow. However, again, easy to figure out on your own. I was actually able to transform it without the use of instructions. And that's something that I like to do. I like to just, when I get a new figure, just kind of open it up and mess with it and see if I can figure out the transformation for myself. It's something that I've been doing going all the way back to the G1 days. Then I go back and look at the instructions if I get stuck, or once I'm finished, I look at the instructions to see if I missed something or if there's any way to do it easier, like a step that should come before another, that kind of a thing. But I always like to try and do it by myself first. And again, simple transformation. It's what you call like a complex, because it's not like a super easy simple transformation. It's easy to do, but it's complex enough that it keeps you entertained, and it's just fun to transform. I really, really like that. These new figures are really bringing me back to what I loved about Transformers going all the way back to G1. I'll elaborate on that a little more here in a bit. Let's talk about the accessories that come included. He does come with 3 accessories. So this first one right here, this is a little claw kind of a weapon right here. And this can be used either for his arm or for his weapon right there in his attack mode. We'll look at that in a moment. And then we've got a couple of different options for his hand. If you're familiar with this character, you know he is missing a hand. One of his hands is a tool hand. So you got that one right there. And then you've got this one right here. And this one has kind of like a little triple barrel kind of a thing going there. There you go. And very cool about this figure is that it has weapon storage in the vehicle. I'm going to show you that in a moment. Let's do measurements. Here in vehicle mode, Red Alert is approximately 4.5 inches long and about 2 inches tall. So again, this is something that I've been bringing up lately with all of these new figures, and I'm going to start bringing it up less and less. I don't want to continue harping on the same thing. It's kind of the way things go, right? Things are, with time, things get smaller and more expensive. A lot of folks don't like these smaller sizes. And, if that's a deal breaker for you, then, I can't argue with you on that. That is, you vote with your wallet. However, I think some folks just want to get stuck on the one thing that they find as a negative and then refuse to find any positive light, right? So with these figures, even with the smaller size, see the molding, I think the detailing in the molding has really improved, right? For example, you see the nice rear of the vehicle that we got right here. With the original figure, we got the robot's feet sticking out right there. With this one, they have a completed, nice, finished vehicle right there. We still get an attack mode like we did with the original. No, we don't get the opening here, but that's okay. We still get the attack mode up here, which I'll show you here in a moment. And the figures look good in vehicle mode. They look good in robot mode. And they're easy to transform. You can pick it up and transform it quickly, right? So it doesn't take an hour to transform these figures. You can just pick it up, transform it quickly. You got a fun vehicle, you got a fun robot, you can transform it back and forth real fast. And that really takes me back to what I love about Transformers, going all the way back to G1. So yeah, while the sizes might be getting smaller, I don't feel that the quality is getting any worse. I think the quality has actually improved on these figures if you compare them to what we were getting, say, 10 years ago, right? And they're just fun figures, and that's just what I choose to look at. At the end of the day, this is a children's toy, right? So it's meant to do something. It's meant to do, and I think it does it well, and it's a fun children's toy. I think it's great. All right, enough about that. Let's get back to the figure. Attack mode. So I don't have Long Arm with me. I believe Long Arm was the name of his original minicon. So we'll bring this guy in. I did have this guy handy, and we can pretend, right? We can plug it in. Let's see. We can pretend to plug it in on some of these spots. I thought, no, actually it won't. Yeah, it should plug in. It's got the little hole right there. So yeah, it'll plug in. You can plug in minicons. So if you have those laying around, you can make that happen. And then this little piece right here is going to pop off, come up and over, and then you can take any of these weapons that you want and plug them in here. Now with the original toy, it had like a little launching missile that was an opening claw. So that's what this piece is for. So there you go. So you can do an attack mode like you did with the original figure, which is very, very cool. Take this guy off. We'll set him off to the side, and then we'll take this off. Let's do weapon storage. I think weapon storage is so neat with this guy, and to do that, we're going to partially transform it. So I'm just going to pop the top half of the vehicle off. And if you look right in there, we got a little peg right there. That peg is meant for that little divot right there in the middle of a claw. So you can actually take this piece right here, and that's going to store right in there. Now, if you look over here in the rear quarter panels, we'll go ahead and turn these. You got some slots here, and those slots are going to work for these guys right here. So let's see if I can get this on camera. There you go. So you can slot that guy right in there. We'll take this one, we'll rotate it around, and then there's another slot there. And we can take this other one and slot it right in there as well. And then we can put everything back together and check it out. We've got full weapon storage integrated into the vehicle. So we get best of both worlds, right? We have an attack mode if you want, and you can still use this like this. You don't have to put a missile on it. You still got a cannon that pops out of the roof, right? So you got an attack mode, and you also have full weapon integration into the vehicle, which I absolutely love. Again, I think this figure does everything right. For comparison, here he is next to Legacy Armada Hotshot, so you can see what the two of them look like together. And here he is with Optimus Prime, so you can see what the two of them look like together. We'll bring in Hotshot right here, and we'll get the whole team going. Check it out. So you can see what they all look like together, and I'm really, really enjoying having the whole Armada Autobot team here. It'd be cool if we got the some of the other ones. Actually, I'm all for that. You know, would be awesome to continue getting some of these Armada figures done in this modern engineering. I am absolutely loving everything about this. As I said earlier, transformation for Red Alert is actually quite simple, yet a lot of fun, and you can get from one to the other super quick, which I absolutely love about this guy. We're going to start back here, kind of like when we were putting the weapons in. We're just going to kind of pull these wheels apart and get this rear panel lifted up. And we're going to take the whole roof of the car and just kind of bring it up. You can see that also brings up the hood right there. That's actually a good thing. Get the hood up, get it out of the way. Come up here, we're going to take the this panel right here and just fold it down. If you want to use the claw, now is the time to get it out. I'm going to leave it in. I want to use one of the other weapons, or one of the other pieces here for his weapon. So we're just going to get that up and out of the way. Come off over here to the sides, and we're going to take the rear panels and just kind of separate these like so. And then we're going to bring the entire bottom of the vehicle down like so. Working on the legs right here. This is really neat. I love what they did here. So we're going to take the bottom half of the shin. We're going to fold this out like so and snap that into place. Straighten out the foot and then pull out the heel right there. and I snapped mine off. Never happened before. Of course, it's going to happen on camera. I've not done that once, ever. And of course, I'm going to do it here. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and just reach in here and pull the weapon out and set it off to the side because I am going to use it here in the robot mode. Same thing on the other side. We're going to go ahead and take that leg and stretch it all the way out, lock it into place, straighten out his foot. And let's see if I go 2 for 2 and pop this one off as well. I've never popped those off. Never, not once. Of course, as soon as I get it in front of the camera, that's when it's going to happen. Worst review ever. Let's get in here and get that weapon also removed, and we'll set these off to the side for the time being. Looks like I need to bring my camera up a bit. Let's do that. Let's work up here. So, the arms, these are going to come out. The doors are going to come all the way out, and then we're going to rotate these. We're going to straighten out the arm. And then we're going to separate the upper part of the arm from the door, bring that down, and rotate this. Now, pick one of these to plug in here. And again, all 3 of them work, so you just pick the one that you want to use there. Same thing on the other side. We're going to open that door. We're going to rotate that. We're going to straighten out the arm. Separate the upper arm from the door, bring that down, rotate. There you go. Get them nice and straight right here. We can bring the backpack down. There is a tab and a slot right there, so you can do that right center. All right, we had this lifted up. We're going to reach in here and pull the head out. Take the rear part of the little engine piece right here. Fold that down, fold that in to finish off the chest. And there is Red Alert in his robot mode. And again, he looks fantastic. I mean, he looks great. He looks just like the original character. He looks just like the original figure. This is a really, really nice looking figure. Coming in close, taking a look at the head. Love that RoboCop inspired look right there. Absolutely love that. You got the white chest right there, the front of the vehicle forming the chest. Then you got the doors forming those shoulder panels right there. You got the blue arms with the blue legs. There you go, going all the way around. Nice, solid figure. We're not looking at a lot of hollowness right here. Little bitty hollow spot right there. Again, they're minimizing those waffles. Look at that. Really, I think they're really making improvements here. This looks really, really good. Articulation, this guy is nuts. Head is on a, is it on a ball? I think it's on a ball joint. Yep, the head is on a ball joint. So you can move it. You got a little bit of inquisitive tilting right there. You got forward and backwards, and you've got side to side. Mine is super tight. Also, light piping is back. We got that light piping. That is awesome. Shoulders can go in and out. They can go forward and backwards all the way around. Rotation at the bicep, double bend at the elbow. And then, if you want to call that wrist articulation, I suppose you can. But never fear, this wrist is also articulation. So you have a wrist rotation right there. If you untab the backpack, we have rotation at the waist. So, you can move the backpack around to, kind of pose in that kind of a thing. Legs can go forward that far. Back, again, if you want to go back, you can move the backpack again. Just kind of play with that. In and out. Rotation at the thigh. Bend at the knee. I didn't mean to. If you want to use the, let's call that calf joint, you can use that for articulation if you want, but he does have a knee bend right there. The panels can rotate much like the original figure did, so you can also move these around for your posing. The feet can go forward and backwards, and you also have ankle tilts. Nice wide posing. So this figure is super detailed and super articulated. Looks really, really, really good. Again, you've got that minicon port right here, and you've got that weapon. So again, you can take your minicon if you want to do that. You can plug a minicon right in there. If you have long arm, I think his name was Larm. Anyway, if you have his minicon, there you go. You can pop him in right there, or any other minicon. They all work. And of course, the weapon comes up and over and rests on his shoulder. And I'm going to take the little triple-barreled one right here, and I'm going to connect that there. So if you want to give him an over-the-shoulder cannon, you can do that. Or, like he did in the cartoon, this also, by the way, this is also articulated because it's on a peg. You can also rotate this. You can do that in vehicle mode too. I didn't show that off. You can also remove this and give it to him so he can have a hand weapon. Again, very much like he did in the cartoon. Let's go ahead and take this guy off so he's not Got a lot of bulk and backpack hanging out right there. Try and give him a cool pose. Check that out. Very, very cool. I think this figure is excellent all the way around. Everything this figure does, I think he does great. You know, the original figure was great. The original figure had lights and sounds, and you had the very famous Armada minicon gimmicks there, where the chest opened up and you had a launcher in there, and the gun flipped out, and that also launched, and all of that. So we're missing lights, we're missing sounds, and we're missing spring-loaded gimmicks. But that's okay, because this is a really nice, detailed figure. Very nice, very poseable. Lots of play features as well. All the weapons can be put away, both in vehicle and in robot mode. And he also has that attack mode with that popping weapon out of the roof or back, depending on what mode you're in. I think it looks fantastic. And he also looks and scales fantastic with his fellow brethren from Armada. Here he is with Armada Hotshot one more time, and then again with Armada Optimus Prime, again from the Legacy collection, right? So yeah, it's a little smaller than the original, but the scale here is absolutely perfect. These figures scale so well, both in vehicle mode and in robot mode. Check this out. This looks great. This looks really, really good. I absolutely love having these guys on my shelf. Another quick comparison, just because he's here, we always have him here. We're always going to do this comparison. There he is with G1 Optimus Prime. And again, currently, my G1 Optimus Prime that's on my desk is the missing link. So that's the one we're showing off here. So you can see what the two of them look like together, and, comparable with Missing Link Prime or G1 Prime. So again, I think it's a good size figure. Again, I understand that people are not happy about the sizes getting smaller, and I can argue with that. But I say this, don't get hung up on the one negative. Look at everything else that's positive about this. Take these new figures that we're getting right now and compare them to what we were getting like when the War for Cybertron video game figures started coming out. Compare this to your Combiner Wars. Compare this to what we were getting 10 years ago. I think yes, the sizes have gotten smaller, but the quality has improved, right? We've got really good looking figures in vehicle mode and in robot mode. We've got fun transformations. You can pop these from one mode to the other like that. Just a couple of steps, transforms real quick, very effectively, very fun to do. At the end of the day, these are children's toys, right? So, and I think they accomplished what they set out to do, which is be a fun toy. Good looking vehicle, good looking robot, simple, fun transformation, and a really nice looking figure all around too that displays really, really well. I think there's way more positives with these new figures than there is negatives. Again, I'm not going to argue with you. If you have a negative, I get it. That's your opinion. You vote with your wallet, but don't cut yourself short. Don't miss out on something that could be very, very cool. Give it a shot. Check it out. If you don't like it, sell it. Whatever, right? That's enough about that. I think that about does it for the Transformers Age of the Primes. I'm going to call them Armada Autobot Red Alert. Absolutely love this figure. What did you think of this figure? Let me know down in the comments. Give me some thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you like what you see. As always, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.
Best displayed on never ends with our toy-loving friend. Bert's the one we know, bringing every show.